What has aged well? I feel like the only thing in the movie Office Space that hasn't aged well is their use of floppy disk drives. Aside from that, it's still an accurate microcosm of life on a cubicle farm. The word cool. Many pretenders to the throne have tried to replace it, such as rad, groovy, awesome, wicked, aces, tubular, lit, etc., but none have passed the test of time. The apple tree my mom planted when I was a kid. Dr. Strangelove really deviated from the safe, bland style of humor from the era, and it holds up very well today. The second law of thermodynamics, 1, still true, 2, has trounced so many competitors for this distinction. Bikes. The Great Pyramids, 4 buildings, they have aged exceptionally well. Batman the Animated Series, the first few seasons anyway. Terminator 2. The 1929 Dracula movie with Bela Lugosi holds up remarkably well for a movie that old. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend watching it this Halloween season. Edit. 1931, not 1929. The practical effects in the first Jurassic Park still look great. Paul Rudd, if he does age, that is. Stephen Hawking. This sounds like a joke because he died recently, but man, are we all lucky that he survived his condition when everyone else who ever had it died within 5 years. Astronomer here. Many extremely sensitive particle experiments looking for neutrinos or dark matter will use lead ingots from Roman shipwrecks over 2000 years ago. Why? The reason is lead has a very slight radioactivity to it that takes a few hundred years to decay. It basically never matters unless you're looking for very sensitive particles and want to cut down on false positives. As such, the going rate for ancient lead is about 40 times that of normal lead. I always thought this was an interesting mix of old and new. Marissa Tomei. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Also yes, apparently it is Marissa with 1 S. Sir Patrick Stewart. Calvin and Amp. Hobbes. The comics are still timely and relevant today. Betty White. 97 years old and still funny AF. Princess Bride. Hollywood. Don't do it. The LOTR films. 1984. George Orwell. Most SNES games. Super Mario World is still a goddamn masterpiece. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Super Nintendo games. A lot of games from the N64 and PS1 era have aged very poorly because of the wonky controls and low polygon graphics, but SNES was the peak of side-scrollers. The games still look great and the controls are tight. Mid-century modern design. Gaming. I feel like that nerdy stereotype that was associated with gaming in the past has sort of disappeared. Cheese. Super Mario World. A lot of 8 and 16-bit console games are frustrating to go back and play, but SMW remains eminently playable. My wife. Jeff Goldblum.